So I'm just going to admit it. I have this major pet peeve. So many times I hear people talk about logo and branding as if those two are interchangeable words. I will hear somebody say, oh, we put the brand on the t-shirt last week and everyone's wearing them. Or don't forget to wear the brand. Or let's put the brand on the product and, or the product package. And honestly, it just blows my mind. I hear it from non-marketers, but what bothers me so much more is I actually hear from people who are in marketing. And what we're going to identify as this course rolls on is that your brand is not your logo. It's just not. Your brand is also not your product. Some people would say, okay, let's say I'm a manufacturer of soaps. I sell soap and I have 3 different soaps. So I would say, oh, I have 3 brands. And I would hold up a bar of soap and I'd say, well, this brand right here. Well, while the 3 different brands, and this gets a little bit tricky, the 3 different soaps might actually have 3 different brands, that soap itself is not a brand. The product is not the brand. And some people will, have such a crazy product style or packaging style that they'll think that that is the brand. So your logo is not your brand, your product is not your brand, your color palette is not your brand. None of these are your brand. There's a commonality to all of this. And what I find is that most misconceptions about branding or brands is that we often think that the brand has to do with something we can see. But what you're going to find through the rest of this course is that branding actually has way more to do with your mind than with just your eye. Now, the origin of this word branding in marketing, I don't know for sure exactly where it comes from. A lot of people will say that it stems from the livestock branding, where you take a branding iron, you stick it in the fire against the animal, and you leave this mark on them. That mark typically would either be a person's name or the ranch's name, or maybe the ranch's initials, or maybe some stylized design. Again, all signifying the owner of that livestock. The mark serves as something that signals more than just the owner of that, but we're going to dive into that later on in this course. Today, most people can't escape this thinking of branding as something that they can see or maybe tangibly feel. In fact, in America, we don't use this word branding for anything else. There's either branding livestock or something to do with marketing. That's it. Most people think a brand is simply that logo, but as I said already, a brand is much, much more. In fact, there's a powerful branding principle that can be learned by breaking down the Chinese word for branding, and we're going to cover that in the next lesson.